Hello, friends. Welcome back again on the I Have a Vision Academy YouTube channel. In short, I Have Academy. बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए अपने टॉपिक की तरफ बढ़ते हैं. Salient features of Indian Constitution. Most of the part in the salient features of Constitution I have discussed in the previous lectures. So this is more of a revision class. Okay. Let's see one by one. So I have told you it is the lengthiest constitution in the world. Lengthiest written constitution. Okay. There are several countries of which constitution is written. So India is one of the members belonging to those groups which have written constitution. But we have a peculiar feature that our constitution is the lengthiest constitution. Understood? But why this is lengthiest? I have told you all the reasons. We can divide it. ये बहुत अच्छा डिवीजन है, इसलिए आप ये सीख लीजिए. ओके, वी ऑल नो the points which I have told you in the previous classes, but this is a more, what should I say, formal classification. So first is geographical, second is historical, third one is cultural. Because of these 3 points our constitution is the lengthiest constitution. So what should we write in historical part? %70 of the Indian Constitution has been taken from the Government of India Act 1935. What is Government of India Act 1935? I have told you in previous classes. You can check it out. Cultural. Diversity इतनी है. Linguistic diversity. Then caste diversity, racial diversity, okay, geographical diversity also. So in cultural we can write diversity. और क्यों है lengthiest? There is only one constitution for center as well as for states, unlike America or USA. In USA, each state has its own constitution and center has different constitution. Okay. So in America, there is one SC and there is number of HC. What is SC and HC denote? SC means Supreme Court of India. HC means High Court of, no, sorry, not India, only Supreme Court, and HC is High Courts. Okay. So in America, this Supreme Court is Supreme Court of USA, and these High Courts are also called Supreme Courts. Why? Because as there are two constitutions, one at center level, another at state level. So center laws, the laws made by center, the laws made by legislature of center will be implemented by the Supreme Court of USA. Okay. And the laws which are passed by the state legislatures, there are 50 states in USA now. So the laws passed by the state legislatures, that rules will be implemented on the soil of USA by Supreme Court of States. Okay. As we can see in India, there is one SC and there is number of High Courts, and these are hierarchically organized. Okay, but what we can see here in USA, there is no hierarchy. Okay, this is an independent body and these are independent bodies. Understood? So ये थोड़ा भटक गए हम, जुडिशरी पे भी आ गए कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से, बट अंडरस्टूड दिस. ओके, दिस इज वन ऑफ द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द अमेरिकन एंड इंडियन पॉलिटी. In this geography, you will also write diversity only. Okay, नॉर्थ साउथ डाइवर्सिटी, नॉर्थ ईस्ट अलग ही साइड में रहते हैं, हमको जो मेनलैंड इंडिया उसको पता ही नहीं नॉर्थ ईस्ट में क्या चल रहा है. सो दैट काइंड ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी कम्स हियर. लेंथीएस्ट, one constitution for center and state, geographical reason, historical reason, cultural reason. One of the criticism that we have discussed in our previous classes. Various lawyers were various experienced politicians were there in Constituent Assembly. So I have told you this line that a lawyer will made such a law. He will try to fill every lacuna of the law. Means हम इंडियंस हैं, वो जुगाड़ू काम बहुत अच्छे से जानते हैं. ओके, सो वो लॉयर भी इंडियन सिटीजन ही है. सो उसको पता है that Indian citizens are very street smart. Okay, so a lawyer will make such a law for a same line. He will create so many lines, so many provisions, so many words like notwithstanding, with hereby do say, and that kind of English. So he will use these kind of words that he will cover every lacuna of the law. So the law can't be bypassed. So these kind of political and lawyer dominance in the Constituent Assembly itself makes the Constitution lengthiest. So this is the first salient feature. This point I have shown you the slides. Actually, B.R. Ambedkar has ransacked almost all the constitutions of the world to make a single lengthiest constitution, that is Constitution of India itself. Okay, so these ransacking I have told you, like if I give you example, आयरलैंड से क्या लिया, टेल मी वन फीचर ऑफ GOI एक्ट, एनी वन फीचर. ये अपने घर पे बैठे बोलते रहो तभी याद होंगे सब. रशिया से फंडामेंटल ड्यूटीज, पार्ट 4A, आर्टिकल 51A. We will dwell into these things later on. What are parts, what are schedules, what are articles. Okay, so these kind of sources I have told you one or two, but you can see the previous lectures to understand this fully. Okay, and this is very important slide also, okay, for prelims. So these are the various sources. This point I have told you Indian constitution is the blend of flexibility plus rigidity. Flexibility is a feature of UK's polity, United Kingdom. Rigidity is the feature of USA polity, sorry. So as we know, USA is the true form of federalism. They don't consider Indian federalism as its true form. Okay, that's why we also called India is a federation sui generis. Okay, India is a federation of its own kind. So as the USA is the pure form of federalism, it is very hard, it is very difficult to amend their constitution. Okay, why it is difficult? Because to amend any constitution we require majority. कहाँ किधर चाहिए majority? In the legislature. I have told you what is legislature. So in the legislative houses we need voting majority to amend any provision of constitution. Now there are several kinds of majority also. Okay, understand here only. So in general there are two kinds of majority. One is simple majority, another is special majority. Simple means a simple majority more than 50%. Two things can be there, P and V, present and voting, or 50% of total strength of the house. I think you can differentiate between these two terms. 50%, more than 50% of present and voting, the members who are actually present at the day of the voting, these are called present and voting members. So this majority requires more than 50% present and voting, and this another kind of majority requires more than 50% of total strength of the house. Some members are there, some members are not there, but the Constitution of India has sanctioned a particular strength to the legislature of the house. Okay, लोकसभा की अभी रिसेंटली चेंज हुई है, तो आप बताइए कितनी हो. ठीक है, टोटल स्ट्रेंथ पूछ रहा हूँ मैं, टोटल मेंबर्स नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ. So these are called simple kind of majority. Okay, these are very easy to achieve. Indian Constitution में ये है, yes. These also reside in Indian Constitution. Now another kind of majority is special majority. Now special majority is also of two kinds. Actually this topic is in another chapter, but for the wholesome understanding of this concept I am telling you here only. Now this special kind of majority I am talking in Indian context is provided in the Constitution via article, very important article, we have to remember this. So there are two kinds of majority. So under article 368 of Constitution, the special majority is provided in two forms. In first kind, we have more than or equal to 2/3 members present and voting, and in second case, we have 2/3 of members present and voting similar, plus 50% of states have to ratify this law in their respective legislatures, in their respective state legislatures. Then only this particular law will come into effect in each and every state of Indian Union. Understood? This is not and or in between. There are some provisions which can be used, which can be amended via this kind of special majority under Article 368 only. And there are some other, in particular, federal features, the features which affect both center and state relations. Okay? So that kind of particular provisions in which the constitution has devolved states also some power, like election of president, like amendability of Article 368 itself. Okay, and there are many more, Supreme Court, High Court. I will tell you all the things in detail. So these kind of federal features will be amended via special majority under Article 368 by this provision, more than equal to 2/3 of members present and voting plus the ratification of 50% of states. Okay, so this was the majority concept. So coming back to the main concept, this was the side concept. So in USA we have the principle of rigidity. It is very hard, like in India, like obtaining 2/3 of majority to amend the constitution. That is why it is called rigidity of constitution. The principle has been originated from USA. Remember that. The second kind is the flexibility principle which emerged in UK. ये इमर्ज कैसे हुआ मैं अभी आपको बता देता हूँ. अगर आपको पता भी नहीं है ना ये, अगर आपको if you tend to forget the which principle belongs to which country, we can logically deduct it. अगर आपने थोड़ी सी पॉलिटी पढ़ी है, we all know which of the country has written constitution. इतना बता दो. USA. अगर जहाँ written constitution है, a country having written constitution, the constitution has segregated the powers of center and state. Okay. Also, the constitution has defined the powers of the parliament also. कि dear parliament, this is your sphere of law making. Please don't cross that Lakshman Rekha. Otherwise, who will come? Jallad will come. Not Jallad, because judiciary will come and nullify that law if found ultra vires of constitution, means in violation of constitutional provisions. So written constitution जब इसके पास है तो इसकी तो पार्लियामेंट पे पाबंदी है ना थोड़ी सी. यही मैंने भी कंसेप्ट सिखाया. बट in this kind of polity, in UK's United Kingdom kind of polity, there is no written constitution. If there is no written constitution, the center has acquired enormous amount of power. Okay, it means there is no Lakshman Rekha provided via constitution. So it can make laws, the center can make laws on each and every subject, or he can snatch or give power to any organ of the state. ऐसे लॉजिकली डिडक्ट कर लेना. ये अभी मेरे को लग गए होंगे 5 मिनट, पर आप एग्जाम में यूं कर लोगे. ओके, बट आवर इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन इज द ब्लेंड. दिस इज द मेन वर्ड, ब्लेंड ऑफ रिजिडिटी एंड फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी. ओके, इन दोनों से हमने कुछ कुछ उठाया था, रैंसैक किया था इनके कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से. तो हमने आधी चीज़ इसके ले ली, आधी इसके ले ली. अब एक लाइन में मतलब मैं बता देता हूँ इसका है क्या. देर आर सम प्रोविजंस इन इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन विच आर रिजिड इन नेचर, विच रिक्वायर अमेंडेबिलिटी अंडर आर्टिकल 368. आपको पता है स्पेशल मेजोरिटी हैं दोनों, ये और टफ है. ठीक है, उसी लाइन में In some provisions, the constitution has provided amendability by simple majority. ओके, आई हैव टोल्ड यू. ये बहुत आसान है एक्वायर करनी. क्यों है आसान? बात ये आती है, प्रैक्टिकल सोचते हैं, ये छोड़ो सब. क्यों है आसान? एक पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट है. इन अ पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, गवर्नमेंट कहाँ रहती है ज़्यादातर? अच्छा, रेस्पॉन्सिबल किसका है? ये वाला कौन से हाउस का है ये बता दो. इन द पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट, द काउंसिल ऑफ मिनिस्टर्स आर रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू विच हाउस ऑफ द पार्लियामेंट? लोअर हाउस, लोकसभा. तो जब लोकसभा में गवर्नमेंट बैठी है और जो गवर्नमेंट चला रहा है उसके पास मेजोरिटी है, मतलब इफ our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is running the government as the head of the Council of Ministers, it means it has confidence of the members of the parliament. उनके पास MPs बहुत है उनकी पार्टी से. अगर लोकसभा में उनके पास MPs बहुत सारे हैं, बहुत सारे मतलब क्या होता है? 50% से ज़्यादा ही, तभी तो गवर्नमेंट फॉर्म हुई है. अगर 50% से कम होते तो गवर्नमेंट कैसे फॉर्म होती? इट विल बी अ डेडलॉक, है ना? इलेक्शंस में डेडलॉक हो जाता. सो इसीलिए ये वाली जो सिंपल मेजॉरिटी है पानी इतनी आसान है. इफ़ यू मेक एनी लॉ इन दैट पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट विच रिक्वायर्स अ सिंपल मेजॉरिटी, लोकसभा विल इजीली पास इट. राज्यसभा में दिक्कत आ सकती है, पर टेंशन नहीं है. स्टेट्स में भी होता ना, स्टेट्स में भी अगर एक ही पार्टी है और सेंटर में भी वही पार्टी है तो दिक्कत क्या है फिर? देखा था हमने ये वाला ईरा जब सेंटर और स्टेट में एक ही पार्टी है. थोड़ा रिसर्च करके आना. पहले इंडिपेंडेंस के टाइम की कहानी है, एट द टाइम ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस. ओके, सो सम प्रोविजंस वाया दिस, सम प्रोविजंस वाया दिस. आई हैव टोल्ड यू ऑल द एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट ऑल्सो. ओके, वापस पढ़ेंगे इन द फ्यूचर लेक्चर्स. Federal with unitary bias. If in exam the question comes, India is a federal country or not, छोड़ दो ये सब क्वासी फेडरल, सुपरफिशियल फेडरल, है या नहीं है, ठीक है. और कैसा है? बहुत ही तगड़ा है. क्यों है? क्योंकि इट फॉर्म्स द बेसिक पार्ट, बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. बेसिक स्ट्रक्चर डॉक्ट्राइन हैज़ बिन गिवन इन केशवानंद भारती केस. सुन लो, अभी सब समझाऊंगा बाद में. फेडरल या फेडरेशन विद यूनिटरी बायस. सो यस, इंडिया इज अ फेडरल कंट्री, बट इंडिया इज अ फेडरल कंट्री ऑफ इट्स ओन काइंड, सू जेनरिस. ठीक है. इट मीन्स although we are federation, but we have a tendency to tilt towards a center. Okay, who is we in this case? We is the powers, the powers which are divided, which are segregated in state and central list. These powers goes heavily into the center's list. Okay, we have more confidence in the center, that's why we have given more powers to the center. So it is federation with unitary bias. From which country we have taken this particular provision? C से नाम है, पता करके आना. ठीक है. So federation with unitary bias. If I give you some examples of this, how this is फेडरेशन विद यूनिटरी बायस, ये देखिए. गवर्नर इज द एजेंट ऑफ सेंटर सिटिंग एट द टॉप पोजीशन इन अ स्टेट. he is appointed by center, by president. He will enjoy his tenure in his office till the pleasure of president. तो बताओ फिर क्या हुआ? यूनिटरी बायस है ना, है ना? The exam which we are preparing for, I have told you all these points. Okay, this is just revision. All India services, there are three kind of all India services, those who don't know. Indian Police Service, Indian Administrative Service, and Indian Forest Service. Not Foreign Service, Indian Forest Service. Okay, so these are the officers of the, these are the officers of the center, trained by center, but most of the times work in state administration. Working in state administration is fine, but they are acquiring the top positions in the state authorities. जो भी एग्जीक्यूशन पार्ट है वो कौन करता है एक स्टेट में? IAS, IPS, IAFS. So they are acquiring the top positions in the state's machinery. तो क्या हुआ? यूनिटरी बायस. सबसे बड़ी चीज, national emergency. Under Article 352, when a president proclaims national emergency, all the distribution of powers between center and state goes into dustbin at the time period or time span of emergency. Okay, we will dwell into this topic in further classes because it is a whole chapter. There are some more provisions also. I have told you in the previous lectures. अगर माइंड्स के ऊपर ऊपर से बताऊं तो the residuary powers, the constitution has divided the powers between center and state, but there are some provisions which require legislation in the near future. अभी मिस्टर इलॉन मस्क, ग्रेट एंटरप्रेन्योर, ग्रेट पर्सनैलिटी, वो चाहते हैं कि मार्स पे सिटी बसे. अगर किसी इंडियन को जाना होगा फिर who will make laws, because at that period of time in 1950 the members of the Constituent Assembly can't think of building a house in the Mars. So they know, their wisdom is such that they know in future there will be certain grounds, there will be certain space in which the laws has to be made. So in that particular spaces, in that particular grounds, the laws can be made by the center because the residuary powers of lawmaking has been given to center and not to state. Schedule 7, we know that 3 lists are there in Schedule 7. Union list, state list, concurrent list. The constitution has divided the subjects in these 3 lists. In union list, center will make law. In state list, states will make law. In concurrent list, both can make law. Both have concurrent power of law making. But in this particular list, concurrent list, if both make law on a particular subject, मान लो this is technically a wrong example. If there is a subject called water and if center and state both have made laws in this particular subject of water, so center law will prevail over state subject. Understood? Unitary bias. Another thing, I think this is 52. Union has given a list of 100 subjects. State has given a list of 61. Okay. Another point, although the taxes collected or the money received by government of India at center level, the sources are less but the magnitude is more, but the amount is more. समझ में आई ये स्टेटमेंट? यूनियन और सेंटर के पास जो भी रुपए आते हैं, एग्जांपल टैक्सेस, जो भी रुपए आते हैं उसके सोर्सेज बहुत कम है, 2-3 सोर्स से ही आएगा, पर जो 2-3 सोर्स से रुपए आएंगे वो बहुत ही ज़्यादा है. सो the sources of the union government is less in money making matters, but the magnitude is more, and same is vice versa for the state list. Okay, तभी तो स्टेट आर डिपेंडेंट ऑन यूनियन फाइनेंशियली, तभी तो हम ग्रांट, सेंटर ग्रांट्स प्रोवाइड करता है स्टेट्स को, ग्रांट्स इन एड प्रोवाइड करता है, ठीक है, कभी कभी लोन प्रोवाइड करता है. वी विल ड्वेल इनटू दीज टॉपिक्स इन फर्दर लेक्चर्स. So these are some provisions which I have told you in previous classes. I have told you many more. Okay. So this was federal with unitary bias. Absorb this. Governor, I have explained you. All India services, I have explained you. Integrated judiciary, in this particular lecture only I have explained you the difference between India and USA judiciary. That is the same point you have to write here. अगर मेंस में ऐसा क्वेश्चन आ गया तो आपको जो भी समझाया वो लिखना है. एंड इफ इन प्रीलिम्स we have given the option that in India what kind of judiciary is there, hierarchical or integrated. So we have to write, sorry, that is the same, hierarchical or integrated is the same, separated judiciary or the integrated. So we have to write integrated judiciary. Schedule 7 I have explained you now only. Bicameralism means we have both bicameralism at center as well as in states. कौन कौन से states में? Please watch my previous lectures. So in center we have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is lower house, Rajya Sabha is upper house. I have explained this particular provisions, this nomenclature in my basics class. अगर आपको बेसिक अपने ढंग से समझना है तो 3 या 4 लेक्चर जो मैंने बनाए थे, डेट इज़ नॉट फ्रॉम लक्ष्मीकांत, डेट इज़ अ बेसिक कोर ऑफ पॉलिटी. ओके, जो आप हर दिन नोमेनक्लेचर सुनते हो, MLA MP ये सब मैंने उसमें बता रखा है. सो दिस वाज बाइकैमरलिज्म एट सेंटर ऑल्सो, एट स्टेट्स ऑल्सो. 3 tier. We have originally in our original constitution only 2-tier government, at center and at state level government. But via 73rd and 74 Amendment Act, CAA, Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992, we have amended our constitution and added part via 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, we have added Schedule 11 or Part 9. This is the same thing. Schedule 11 Part 9 called Panchayati Raj Institutions or Panchayats. From 74th Constitutional Amendment Act of 1992 we have added Schedule 12 or Part 9A which deal with municipalities. Understood? So this was another silent feature. Absorb this. नंबरिंग तो बोल गए, चलो these last four we will revise and rest are easy provisions in the Lakshmikant book, you can read, but I have explained in previous lecture, so this is more of a revision class only. Okay, parliamentary form. What is the basic, the most common feature of parliamentary form of democracy? I have told you COM एग्जीक्यूटिव है जो, वो किसका लड़का है, किसका बच्चा है वो, पार्लियामेंट का. ओके, लोकसभा या राज्यसभा किसी का भी, हमको क्या करना है. सो एग्जीक्यूटिव इज रेस्पॉन्सिबल टू द पार्लियामेंट, टू द लेजिस्लेचर. दिस इज कॉल्ड पार्लियामेंट्री फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट. So in parliamentary form, India has adopted the parliamentary form. Which form? Representative, I have told you. Next, residuary powers, I have explained you. I think I have written this twice. These I have explained in detail. What are DPSP? Directive Principle of State Policy. These are the directions given by constitutional father. These are embedded in the constitution itself, and our founding fathers of Constituent Assembly are dictating the future governments that, dear government, you have to ensure that each and every citizen of India has to have justice at the end of the day. So to enable you to give them justice, we are giving some roadmaps or directions that, Mr. Parliament, please work towards this road of DPSP. So you will reach the end goal of providing justice to your citizens and serving in a best possible manner. Okay. So these are nothing but directive principle of state policies. These are kind of what I say template. Okay, template पता है सबको, एक पर्टिकुलर पैटर्न होता है, उसमें से आप जो भी चीज़ निकालो वो वैसी बन जाएगी. ओके, तो टेम्पलेट, these are kind of templates of legislations. FD, fundamental duty. This is part 4. Okay, in part 4 we have DPSP. In part 4A we have fundamental duties. किससे ऐड हुई थी? 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1976 at the time of emergency. कितनी है? 11. ओरिजिनल कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में कितनी थी? ओनली 10. ओके, आई थिंक 86th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट से 11th ऐड हुई, राइट टू एजुकेशन. फंडामेंटल राइट्स, अगला 3 से 4 क्लासेस फंडामेंटल राइट्स की हैं, बड़ी बड़ी होंगी, ठीक है. So these are the basic rights, the human rights which are provided by a country to its citizens. Okay, there is some difference between a human right and a fundamental right. I will tell you in the fundamental right chapter only. So these are further divided into in 12. I think there is the definition of state. Our constitution has used this term state in various provisions. So constitution has also defined what is state itself in article 12, I think. Okay, in article 13 the constitution has used in various provisions law, this law, that law. So what is the definition of law? Constitution has provided you this only. So in article 12 state definition, in article 13 law definition, or should I say कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन हैज डिफाइंड व्हाट इज नॉट लॉ. ओके, ईजी है ना, जो लॉ नहीं है वो इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो सकता. तो अगर ये सारे लॉ नहीं है तो मतलब ये सब लॉ है ना. देन फ्रॉम 14 राइट टू इक्वालिटी, आवर एक्चुअल फंडामेंटल राइट स्टार्ट. 14 से 18 राइट टू इक्वालिटी. देन 19 से 22 राइट टू फ्रीडम. 23 से 24 दो आर्टिकल. मैंने आपको कैसे इनको याद करना है, आई हैव टोल्ड यू द स्ट्रेटेजी टू रिमेंबर दीज आर्टिकल्स. ओके, राइट अगेंस्ट एक्सप्लॉयटेशन, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to property which has been deleted in 44th amendment act of 1978. ठीक है, इमरजेंसी वाली जो 42nd थी उसके 2 साल बाद ही. ये भी मैं स्टोरी के फॉर्म में बताऊंगा तो आपको याद रह जाएगा 78 में ही क्यों हुआ. राइट टू प्रॉपर्टी डिलीटेड एंड इंसर्टेड इन द आर्टिकल 300A. Last but not the least, the most important, article 32, right to constitutional remedies. If the state has infringed one or more fundamental rights of a citizen, so क्या करे citizen? कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ने तो बोल दिया कि ये फंडामेंटल राइट है आपकी, पर इफ द स्टेट हैज वायलेटेड दोज पर्टिकुलर फंडामेंटल राइट्स, सो व्हाट शुड अ सिटीजन विल डू? सो डेट इज प्रोवाइडेड इन 32. अगर एक सिटीजन ने, अगर आपने आर्टिकल 32 पढ़ा है, अगर नहीं पढ़ा और ये सब पढ़ लिया तो कुछ नहीं कर पाओगे आप. आर्टिकल 32 गिव्स टीथ टू द फंडामेंटल राइट्स, right to constitutional provision. Under article 32 you can approach supreme court. ओके, मुझे पता है थोड़ा तेज जा रहा हूँ पर आज की रिवीजन क्लासेस है, ठीक है. सो फ्रॉम अंडर आर्टिकल 32 you can approach supreme court in the violation of only fundamental rights. This is a very particular term, only fundamental rights. If state has violated only your fundamental rights and not other legal rights, then only under article 32 you can approach Supreme Court of India directly without going to subordinate courts or high courts. Okay, and when you file this petition that dear judiciary, the state has violated my fundamental rights, one or more fundamental rights, then the Supreme Court under article 32 has the power to give writs jurisdiction. There are 5 kinds of writs. We will dwell into the topic of writs in the Supreme Court chapter. तो ये सब आपको मैंने थोड़ी अलग इन्फॉर्मेशन दे दी, याद रखना, सब आगे आएगा. द लास्ट बट नॉट द लीस्ट, आई हैव टोल्ड यू द कंसेप्ट ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्री सॉवरेनिटी एंड जुडिशियल सुप्रीमेसी, बट आई हैव नॉट डिफाइंड इन अ प्रॉपर मैनर. वाई? बिकॉज इट वॉज अ बेसिक क्लास. नाउ आई विल डिफाइन यू द होल कंसेप्ट. सब चीज़ें कहाँ से उठाई है ज़्यादातर, यूएसए एंड यूके। स्ट्रक्चरल पार्ट ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कहाँ से उठाया है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एक्ट 1935। फिलोसॉफिकल पार्ट पता है, फिलोसॉफिकल बोल सकते हो फंडामेंटल राइट्स को, डीपीएसपी को, है ना। तो बताओ फंडामेंटल राइट्स और डीपीएसपी कहाँ से उठाया। पार्लियामेंट्री सॉवरेंटी, मैंने सॉवरेंटी की स्पेलिंग बताई थी आपको। जुडिशियल सुपरमेसी, पार्लियामेंट्री सॉवरेनिटी कंसेप्ट इज ओरिजिनेटेड इन यूके एंड जुडिशियल सुपरमेसी कॉन्सेप्ट ओरिजिनेटेड इन यूएसए। इफ यूर वोकेबलरी स्ट्रॉन्ग, आपको पार्लियामेंट का मतलब पता है, अगर आपको सॉवरेंटी का भी मतलब पता है, सो दैट इज द होल कंसेप्ट ओनली। आई हैव टोल्ड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर लेक्चर ओनली इट हैज़ अ अनरिटन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। So UK has unwritten constitution. It means constitution has not set any limitations on the law or rule making power of the parliament. It means in each and every sphere a parliament can make law. Each and every provision of the constitution can be easily amended by the simple majority via parliament. दिस इज पार्लियामेंट्री सॉवरेनिटी। पार्लियामेंट को जो मन में आए वो करेगी, क्यों? क्योंकि उसके ऊपर पाबंदी नहीं है, लक्ष्मण रेखा कोई नहीं है। अंडरस्टूड। यूके में जुडिशरी लेजिस्लेचर के खिलाफ कुछ नहीं कर सकती। इट कैन डू, और एज अ सिटीजन ऑफ यूके यू कैन फाइल अ लॉ सूट अगेंस्ट एग्जीक्यूटिव बट नॉट अगेंस्ट लेजिस्लेचर। Understood? This is one of the concept in UK. In India, you can file a lawsuit against executive as well as legislature. Legislature के खिलाफ कैसे फाइल करोगे, मैं बताता हूँ। नेशनल जुडिशियल अपॉइंटमेंट कमीशन, कौन सी अमेंडमेंट एक्ट? पार्लियामेंट ने पास कर दी थी, तभी तो एक कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट बन गई। बिल नहीं था, एक्ट बन गई। व्हेन बिल बिकम्स एक्ट इट इज कॉल्ड एनेक्टमेंट। कौन करता है एनेक्टमेंट? लेजिस्लेचर ऑफ अ कंट्री। सो दिस 99th कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल अमेंडमेंट एक्ट NJAC हैज बीन क्रिएटेड टू अपॉइंट जजेस ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट एंड हाई कोर्ट। ठीक है। समवन वेंट टू सुप्रीम कोर्ट एंड फाइल अ लॉ सूट अगेंस्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर provision. Okay, what is this whole procedure called? Judicial review. Okay, so Supreme Court has taken judicial review of this particular act and it struck it down. So this is nothing but filing a lawsuit against the legislature only. We have turned down a specific rule made by legislature. So in India you can file a lawsuit against legislature and as well as executive. In UK we cannot file a lawsuit against legislature because parliament is sovereign there. उसके ऊपर कोई रूल ही नहीं है कि आपको इस लिमिट्स में काम करना है। This is the concept of parliamentary sovereignty. Now comes judicial supremacy. वर्ड से समझ, सुपरमैन तो सबको पता ही है भाई, तो सुपरमैसी तो आपको पता ही होना चाहिए। जुडिशरी सुप्रीम। ओके, मीन्स जुडिशरी के पास बहुत ज़्यादा पावर कंसंट्रेटेड है कि वो लेजिस्लेचर और एग्जीक्यूटिव दोनों को अपने दायरे में रख सकती है। इट इज़ सिमिलर टू द कंसेप्ट which is we are having, Indians are having judicial supremacy, but the judiciary of USA is more powerful than Indian judiciary. Okay, if I give you one example, at the time of emergency our parliament takes all the rights from its citizens, not all the rights, I am technically wrong, but understand in this way only, we will dwell into in fundamental rights section. So in the emergency, our parliament takes certain rights from its citizens, but in USA judiciary is empowered to take those rights, certain rights, in case of emergencies. This is one of a point why there is a judicial supremacy in America. Indian judiciary is somewhat less powerful than American judiciary. Okay, but in organizational framework किसकी ज़्यादा पावरफुल है? हाई कोर्ट, सॉरी सुप्रीम कोर्ट इंडिया का, बिकॉज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया सुपरवाइजेस और acquired top position in the hierarchy of all the courts in India. Understood? So we have the blend of parliamentary sovereignty and judicial supremacy. Understood? How? Because our parliament can make law and in each sphere. Okay. Our parliament, Indian parliament, can make law in each sphere, but these lawmaking power of parliament is constrained by the provisions of constitution, because constitution has drawn that Lakshman Rekha. Okay. तो एक लक्ष्मण रेखा है, इंडिया की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, तो ये लक्ष्मण रेखा है, बट in the sphere of law making of parliament it is sovereign body. इसको जाना नहीं पड़ेगा जुडिशरी की परमिशन ले लेके, डियर जुडिशरी वी आर पासिंग दिस सर्टेन NJAC law, can we pass it? No, he will pass it and he has the authority to strike it down. Judiciary has the authority to strike it down. अपने sovereignty में तो कर ही रहा है ना, ये NJAC बना दिया ना. Now it is the power of the judiciary to review that particular act, and thus exercising its own power in its own domain, judiciary has struck it down. This is none other than blend of parliamentary sovereignty plus judicial supremacy. So this is also one of the salient features of constitution. एक और पढ़ लो, अब हो ही गया. तो judicial review, we have provisions of judicial review in our constitution itself. अच्छा, दो चीज याद रखना. बाद में और ही बताते रहूंगा, पर ये दो चीज आज क्लास के लिए. द वर्ड फेडरेशन और फेडरल और जुडिशियल रिव्यू इज नोवेयर रिटन इन अवर कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन. ओके, तो फेडरल क्यों बोलते हैं भाई, और अगर फेडरल नहीं लिखा तो क्यों नहीं लिखा? The term federation is avoided by our constitutional fathers because at that period of time, at the time of independence 1947, there is a decisive tendency. There was a tendency in states to secede from the Indian Union. Okay, I have told you all the stories that Rajwadas are there, princely states were there. They are not willing to join Indian Union at that period of time, but eventually they have faith in the Indian Union. Okay, but thereafter also Junagadh and that Hyderabad have to acquire by the force. Okay, so at that period of time Indian states have a tendency to secede from India. So we don't want to provide a legal provision so that these princely states can go to the judiciary to claim that provision. What is that? Federation. So instead of that, we have provided the term Union of India. This union term here denotes that India is a union of states. Okay, it is not a federation of states. I have told you the meaning of federation in my basic class. Federation means different states come together by an agreement and form a particular country. The example of this federation is USA. Different states come together, signed an agreement and form a particular country called USA. In India, if we read history also, India is a particular country, one country. There was not Rajasthan, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu. It is not like that. It is one particular country called India. Okay. So जब हम फेडरेशन है नहीं तो हम क्यों यूज़ करें भाई? इसलिए we have used the term Union of India. Now this Union of India describes two things, that India is not a federation of states. The states doesn't sign the agreement to come together and form a country. And the second thing the union denotes is that the states can't secede from the union itself. They don't have the right to secede from India. That is why a famous line has been quoted that USA is destructible union of indestructible states, whereas India is indestructible union of destructible states. स्टेट्स को डिस्ट्रॉय कर सकते हैं कैसे? अभी एग्जांपल देता हूँ. 2014 तेलंगाना और आंध्र प्रदेश का. ये क्या एक ही एग्जांपल है क्या? नहीं, बहुत सारे एग्जांपल्स हैं. वो लिस्ट भी अभी आएगी अगले चैप्टर्स में. सो 2014 में हुआ तो डिस्ट्रक्टिबल स्टेट्स, बट इंडिया इज इंडिस्ट्रक्टिबल यूनियन. अंडरस्टूड? सो आई थिंक this is quite a good revision, a fast revision of this particular chapter. I have covered everything in the previous classes also. If you want to go more in depth, you can watch that particular class also. So coming to an end, if you like this video, please share it with your friends and subscribe to IF Academy YouTube channel. तब तक के लिए गुड बाय, जय हिंद.